Next up, Eunice Song has been at the Oakridge School since 7th grade.
Hello, my name is Eunice Song, and today I'll be talking about what is it like to live without my parents. Well, I bet more than half of the people here once thought of living without their parents. And we seniors especially are waiting for that day when we finally get to live our lives by ourselves. It seems like we can finally do whatever we want to do without having to listen to our parents nag. And yes, having lived without my parents for 6 years now, I think it is quite a good experience for one of you guys to have. Those are some pictures of my parents, and they're currently living in South Korea, and I have been living with a guardian. When I first realized I had to live without my parents, which was in 7th grade, it would be a lie if I said I wasn't scared at all. But honestly, I was somewhat glad, thinking that I would be free from my parents' control and be able to do whatever I want to do. Although as simple as it sounds, living without my parents taught me several valuable lessons that I've never expected to experience at this age. There are, of course, bad and good things in regards to living without my parents. In my case, there are more good things. But really, most of you all prefer colleges that are farthest from home just so you can get away from your parents' control. And I totally understand that, because whenever I used to live with my parents, I never realized how important they were to me. In a short view, the fact that I live with my parents seems fortunate, but it actually has some disadvantages. Although I might have freedom to do whatever I want, I have to do all the things by myself, from the tiniest things like doing my homework in time to checking my banking account once in a while. There is no one that tells me to study or clean my room. I have to tell myself to do such tasks, and most of the time I don't listen to myself. Also, the fact that everything depends on me can be both good at times but bad as well. The choices that I make will soon guide me to either good or bad circumstances. But the biggest disadvantage of living without my parents is loneliness. Although I have friends and people to talk to and hang out with, they definitely serve different purposes than what my parents do. There were certain times in my life when I really felt lonely, such as when there are parent-teacher conferences held. I really wish my parents could come. Also, whenever I got into a TME All-Star Orchestra, I wanted to show them our live performance, but unfortunately I couldn't. But it was fine because we didn't play as well as my parents would have expected anyways. At first, when I faced such moments, I really felt like someone has just left me alone in a deserted island. But after all those years, I found ways to overcome it, which is keeping in touch with each other. For the past 4 years, there's not been one day where we did not communicate. No matter how busy we were, we always kept in touch with each other, as if we were checking if we were still alive or dead. Because I communicate more than I used to live with them, our bondage has grown stronger. Despite few disadvantages, there are certainly more good things about living without my parents. One of the biggest advantages of living alone is that I have much more freedom than other people. Since there's no one that controls what I do, I can do whatever I want, such as hanging out with my friends instead of studying. Not that I did that. Also, because everything matters to what I choose to do, I have no choice but to be independent and have responsibility. I can't blame anyone else for wrongdoings but myself. After all the years living without my parents, the most important lesson I learned is realizing how important they are to me. When I lived with my parents, I really didn't think of them as being as valuable as they are to me as now. But living without them really made me into someone that really cares about family, and my number one priority is my family. I really wish that they could come today and listen to my speech, but since they couldn't, I wanted to share my experience to you all and thank my parents for always trusting me and supporting me. I will close out with this quote by Frank A. Clark. The most important thing that parents can teach their children is how to get along without them. Thank you.